There we are live on Brunch with Brian. Brunch with Brian. It's good to see you. Look at that. Charles is already here waiting for us in advance. Good job, Charles. So, guys, let's focus on our house. Sometimes you think things are very distracting in the world, but we need to focus on our own house and tending our own house and taking care of our own house, don't we? In order to get the results we want out of life, we have to focus on our goals. And I always talk about, and write this down if you haven't written this down. I used to call this your success trinity. Now I call it Brian's GPS. Okay. It's either your success trinity or Brian's GPS. And that's goals, plans, and schedule. That's the three things that you need to focus on. All the other distractions in the world, there's a lot of distractions in the world, and your family. And guess what? Our lovely daughter, Trinity, oh, she just called us this morning and told us she has COVID. She's a nurse. And so now she's going to be out of work for a while. She's got, but that's what happens when you work, in the health field. You can run into that. So, that there's so many distractions, so many challenges in life. Let's focus on what we can affect, the things that we can make an impact on. So what can we make an impact on? We can make an impact on our own schedule. Our goals, plans, and schedule. That's where we make our impact. We set our goals. So I want everybody to have ambitious yet makeable goals. In fact, I'd like you to have minimum and optimum goals. That's how I like to do it. So what's your optimum goal for the next, okay, how much do we have left in the year? Okay, so we have roughly what? July, August, September, October, November, December. So we got about half the year in front of us yet. So what's possible in 6 months? What can you do in the next 6 months? Let's set some realistic goals. If the most realistic goal, and this is the goal I want everybody to set for the next 6 months, is you're gonna make 20 calls a week. If you just do that, and that's why I call that your baseline KPI, your baseline key performance indicator. If you're making 20 phone calls a week, and you're not calling, the bakery, if you're calling, actual sellers and buyers, you will eventually get deals, because if you're using our system, you're starting off with the highest possible base knowledge, even if you've never done a deal before. And then if you practice that system, and you can't help but practice it when you're making calls. So if you're making 20 calls a week, you will inevitably get good on the phone, unless you have a super thick accent that nobody can understand. And I have one of our best students, Steve, in Chicago area, who has a really thick accent, and he's incredible. So you can fight through a lot of challenges if you just make 20 calls a week. And how hard is that? I mean, you can just call FSBOs, you can call, if you're just looking for people to call, we have outbound calls. You can call landlords. We have an opening call. If you don't know where these are, they're in your back office. They're in when you go onto the website, it's ourwolfpack.com. When you go on ourwolfpack.com, then you just put in your code, and all your forms are there. So it would be a good idea to look at your forms. Those forms really run your business. But if you just, there's one form that's it's checkoff call for your closing calls. It's a checkoff. It's got 50 closing calls checklist is what it's called. So how long will it take you to get through those 50 calls? All right. Well, hopefully it'll take you, what is it? It'll take you maybe about a month, about a half a month. So in about 2 weeks, you're going to have that checked off. You're going to have that. So go into that's a really good form that a lot of you are probably not using. It's called the 50 closing calls checklist. And it's one sheet, and it's got a whole lot of little boxes. It's got 50 boxes. And every time you make a call, you don't just draw an X. You draw, sometimes I'll put the last name of the seller, and I'll write some little result like, already sold, or couldn't take payments, or something like that. These boxes are decently sized, so you can actually jot something in there. If you have it on your computer, you can enter in on your computer too, so you can type into the boxes. But it's easier to just print the sheet. Actually, that's my instructions for you. Go into our Wolfpack, put your code in, print the 50 closing calls checklist. Okay, so and by July 15th, try to have it all checked off. That would be a very worthy goal. That's even a little bit more than 20 a week. So print your 50 closing calls checklist and try to talk to 50 sellers between now and now. These can be FSBO sellers. They can be landlords. You can call landlords. Now, when you call a landlord, when you call a property for rent, when you call a house for rent, you're either going to talk to the person who's renting it, the landlord, or you're going to talk to a property manager. There's another opening call script for property managers. So if you call on a house for rent and you don't get the owner and you get a property manager, that's also a closing call. So these all count as closing calls. In fact, you start talking to property managers, you follow that property manager closing call, and they might send you a whole bunch of deals because you're looking for property managers who are working with landlords. Okay, who are working not like a property manager for a rental for a apartment complex. We're looking for rental. We're looking for people who are talking about renting houses, property management for houses. So that's what we're looking for there. And then we've also got opening calls. You can call expired listings. You can call my main calls that we do for with the for sale by owner. So you can call for sale by owners anywhere. Remember, if you can do deals anywhere. It's very doable. We have a lot of properties in other states. So this is a very doable business. If you have one realtor, boots on the ground there, that's all you need, and so that can be really helpful. We used to have partners in some of the markets we're in now, and we don't work with the partner anymore, and we work with the local realtor. So you don't have to live there. So if you think, well, I can't make 20 calls a week to sellers, I ran out of FSBO calls in my market. Call FSBOs in other markets and call landlords. And then landlord will change to a property manager sometimes will pick up. So that'll be an opening call for a property manager. And you can also call unlisted properties that you find. This is just something that it's a drive-by. It's a rough property. When you're out driving for dollars, what are you looking for? Ugly vacant houses. So there's calls for those as well. So there's a lot of different calls that you can make, but if you're making 20 calls a week, you're doing what you need to do to be making progress. A lot of comments today. Hey, Isabel, how you doing? GPS, yes, this was a great moment when that came about. Thank you, dear. Yes, I remember that. GPS, Brian's GPS. Morning, Roger. Good to see you here. Morning. Always got the good hearts coming from KJ, Kenneth, James, Caleb. Good morning. Professor Brian, everybody's here. Oh no. Okay. Good morning, all the wolves out there. Yes. Kenneth, James. Good. Happy Friday to everybody. Tony and Angela. Angela. Usually it's just Tony. Now Angela's on there. What a nice picture you guys have. How cute is that? Good morning. Focus Friday. All right. Focus Friday. I love it. Okay. Nick. Look at that. Goals, plan, schedule. Look at all those emojis. I never saw so many emojis. All right. That's funny, Nick. That's great. Yes. Agent outreach is free marketing. That's right, guys. When you call on an agent on a property listed by a realtor, it's free. The signs are sitting out there. You can look them up on Zillow. They're easy to find. Call them. We have that script. It's the listing realtor opening call script. If you can't find it, call us at 888-RICH-NOW. But it's in your when you go on ourwolfpack.com and you go under forms, the forms folder, everything is in there. Okay. So yes, call those listed properties. There's about 10 times more listed properties than there are FSBOs in most markets. So if you say, well, I ran out of FSBOs, I'm telling you, you've got, loads of listed properties to call. Just use the listing realtor opening call script. And you're not just looking for that property. In fact, the likelihood that individual seller is open to monthly payments, maybe 1 out of 10. Okay. But they know a lot of sellers. Good agents know lots of sellers. So there's a good chance they might know somebody who'd be flexible on taking monthly payments. So realtors can be terrific. I'd like you guys to try to buy one property through a realtor every month, or have, at least 3 to 5 realtors out there aware of what you do and looking for properties that sellers would be willing to take monthly payments on. Okay. Yes. ourwolfpack.com. That's the right email address, or that's the right URL. Yes. On fire. Yes. The real Caleb. Okay. Caleb, are you coming? Am I having a problem with the Facebook today? Okay, because you guys are coming in from different things. Memo, good to see it. Definitely check out the 50. Yes, guys, just print that 50 closing calls checklist. It's a really helpful form. It's a way to track. And you can see, wow, am I really making 20 closing calls a week? Or is it taking me a whole month to fill out this 50 closing calls prep sheet? That would only be 12 calls or about 13 calls a week. So that's not enough. Okay, so that's a good one. All your stuff, you got to watch at least twice to catch it all. Woo, yes. Woo wee. All right. Yeah. And guys, there is a lot of content. I mean, I do give a lot of content, so you got to keep sharp, looking sharp. Hey, this is my most expensive shirt in my whole closet. Believe it or not, it's funny. It's more expensive than my dress shirts. Sounding even better. Thank you, Nick. All right. Well, you guys are doing great. Lots of great comments. Wow, lots of comments today. I love comments. Found it. 50. Oh, yes, it's in the Pretty House Power Pack as well. Okay, so the 50 closing calls checklist. Awesome. Way to go, Memo. He's already got it lined up. Print it off. JT, happy Friday, JT. Good to see you here. Happy Friday. And we got, thank you so much. Roger, relationship, Silver Lake, Wisconsin, in the house. All right. Hey, Wisconsin's a good market. You should be working Milwaukee. If you live in Wisconsin, you should be checking out Milwaukee. Relationships are so important. Great tips. I love giving great tips, you guys. The role plays are gold. Yes, role play your scripts. Watch those videos, and it really helps you learn this business. All right, a lot of great comments today. A lot of great information today. So let's follow. I follow my GPS. Let's do that for our affirmation for today. I follow my GPS on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I follow my GPS. I follow my GPS. I follow my GPS. Yes. All right. That's great. Let's do 3 deep breaths. Nice deep breath in. Oh, that feels good. I just love these morning sessions. They get me going. Hopefully they get you going on in the morning. Another deep breath in. Good job. Hold it a little bit and let it out. Okay, one more deep breath. Good, and let it out. Relax your arms and your shoulders, your neck. Good job, everybody. All right, let's have a really productive weekend. Let's make a whole bunch of closing calls. Let me know if you made your 20 closing calls. That's our baseline KPI, our baseline key performance indicator. If you're making 20 phone calls a week, that should lead to deals, because it's going to lead to deal meetings. It's going to lead to going out to houses and buying houses. So I love you guys, and you guys are so great at making great comments. Rock on, everyone. Look at what a great comment that is. How motivating. Strategy. Yes, I'm giving you guys great strategies. Let's go. Roger's hyped up. He's amped up today. I love it. 150 call checklist for each real estate investing strategy. Now that's interesting. If you were doing flips and you were calling on wholesale on distressed properties, and then if you were calling nice properties, you could have a checklist for each type of deal. I follow my goals. Yes. Three times. Yes. 3+ times. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Always say your affirmations 3+ times. Okay. You guys are awesome today. Let's go. I'm going to leave that one up. All right, guys. Oh, except for now, you guys keep commenting. Kenneth has another thing to say. Do something that no one else is doing. Yes. And if you're doing your 20 calls a week, I'm telling you, there's very few people that are actually adhering to that. And that will result in deals for sure. That's a great KPI. You guys are so sharp today. Hope Trini gets better soon. Yeah, it's crazy that she got COVID. She's a nurse, and now she can't even go back to work for a while and help people. All right, guys, so I love you, and I will see you on Monday. Let's all have a great weekend, productive and helpful for other people. And until I see you on Monday, we're going to keep expecting success, getting the awesome training from the Wolf Couple, and yes, taking action. Okay, love you guys.